Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is going to be my beauty predictions for the year of 2025. This video is it's just for fun. It's just supposed to be lighthearted, just making some stuff up. If I'm right, cool. If I'm wrong, that'll kind of make it even funnier. Like if everything's like complete the opposite of what I predict, I think that will be kind of hilarious. So yeah, I got this idea from the Beauty News girls. I don't know if they've filmed a predictions video this year yet. I know they've done them in the past. I haven't checked yet, so I don't know if they've done any predictions. The only thing I do know is Kat did mention at one point she thinks highlighters will be a big thing for 2025. I don't disagree with her on that, so I'm not going to put that in my predictions, but I will give her a seconder on that prediction as well. So I've broken this video down to a few different categories. I have hair, I have fragrance, I have nails, I have skin, then I have makeup, and then I have drama. I don't like to get into the drama, but I feel like it's really fun to maybe make some predictions there. They'll be very loose and very general. So let's start off with hair. So my prediction for hair is going to be like shorter bob style that's mostly straight with maybe a light bit of wave. I might throw some pictures up. Maybe let me like scooch over a little and I might throw some pictures up here. So yeah, I'm just thinking it's going to be shorter, easier hair, but straight. I think more people will go a bit straighter or like very, very loose waves instead of anything like curly or really wavy. I think more people are going to go blonde. I definitely see blonde, but I don't see like ashy platinum blondes. I think it's going to be more warm tone blondes, even like leaning into like the light browns or the caramels kind of thing. I think side parts are going to be a thing. I was always a side part girl, so I've been more middle part lately because yeah, my hair is just sort of it's a off center part. It's not full on side, but anyway, I'm not, by the way, I'm not a trend follower at all. And I'm not like an anti-trend follower. It's like I like what I like, and if what I like is popular, cool. But if there's something popular that I don't like, I just don't follow that trend. Like I don't know. I'm not a trendy person. I will full on admit that. My hair is entirely the opposite of what I'm talking about in terms of trends for next year. Fragrance. So I feel like we're going to have like two camps of fragrance that are going to be super popular, and they're going to be like polar opposite. So my one prediction is we're going to get these like really deep, rich, woody, peppery, like musky, super dark scents that are going to be super popular. And then we're going to see these like super light, powdery, fresh floral. So not like too warm of a floral or a sweet floral. It's going to be like a fresh, zesty floral. I think those are going to be the two camps that are going to become popular next year. I think vanilla will still be a popular note. I think things with vanilla, but I think the vanilla era has ended a little bit, or it's going to decline. It's not going to be like, I feel like this 2024 was the year of the vanilla. I feel like that's going to slow down in 2025. For nails, I really don't see anything dramatic. Like I know we had like the magnetic stuff, and then we've had like metallics. I feel like this year is going to be like neutrals. Like people are going to be into like neutral colors, maybe even like French manicure style. Like it's just going to be like basic, like light browns, neutral browns, light pinks, like just very neutral, easy, maybe with a little bit of shimmer, maybe a little bit of shine, but nothing too dramatic. That's, again, I could be totally wrong with all this. I'm just making it up. I've been thinking about this. I wanted to film this after I did my beauty trends of 2024, just to make sure I wasn't making up a trend that was like, girl, that was the trend this year. Like, at least I tried to inform myself slightly, which makes me think about like, how do beauty companies do this? Like, what inside intel do they have to like come up with trends? Or is it just like a shot in the dark, like what I'm doing right now with like maybe a slight bit of research? I'm so curious. Okay, yeah, nails, super boring, super neutral. That kind of ties into the color of the year for 2025, which I'll talk about later. Skincare. So I think there's going to be some celebrity, I don't know who, that's going to come out with a skincare line, and it's going to be like heavily marketed. I wrote down, so I was like, I don't know what celebrity. I'm like, maybe Lady Gaga. And then I realized like, I don't know who are the cool celebrities. I'm so out of touch. Like I just learned who Sabrina Carpenter was this year. Like I don't know who people are. And then I was like, well, maybe it's not going to be like somebody younger or somebody new. It's going to be like a throwback. So I was like, maybe it's going to be somebody like Nicole Kidman or Salma Hayek, like somebody that's a bit more mature that's going to come out with like a skincare line. I also think the dewy, healthy skin is going to continue trending. Like, I don't think that's going to go away. I think that's going to continue over sort of matte or very heavy coverage foundation. I think the light dewy foundation is still, dewy base is still going to be trending. I don't think that's going to change up. So makeup. So makeup's sort of the bigger category of my predictions. Well, I don't know if it's bigger. The other ones are just kind of like, I don't know a whole lot about like the industries. So I'm just kind of guessing on some stuff here. So makeup. So I based most of my makeup initial thoughts on the Pantone color of the year, which is Mocha Mousse. It's a really nice, warm, almost pinky brown. Again, very rich toned, very comforting tone. And I think we're going to see brands releasing stuff related to this. Maybe not actually Pantone color of the year. Sephora used to do Pantone of the year, like collabs. And there are brands that do collabs with Pantone of the year. I'm not talking about those collabs because I think they'll exist. But I feel like brands are going to be releasing some very neutral tone palettes with taupes. But also like maybe with a warm twist with some really like deeper, richer browns. And then I was like, then they'll maybe add in a bit of like soft color with a bit of golds. And I'm thinking like a bit of like an ivy green and maybe like a soft pink. And it's funny because that's what I was envisioning in my head, like this palette with these like warm, milk chocolate kind of chocolates. And I was like, well, what goes nice with that? And you get like sort of a minty ivy green or like a soft muted purple. And then I was scrolling through, after I was thinking all this, I was scrolling through the Pantone site just to read more about color of the year, how it exists, like how do they create it, like what's it all about. And if you scroll a little bit further down on their webpage, I don't have an image here, let me just bring it up. So they have like house color palettes, and then they have this like floral pathways palette, and I was like, I clearly was on the right wavelength. Like this is basically what I was thinking about. Like maybe take out that blue and change gardenia to like a soft gold. And that's basically what I was thinking of in terms of a palette. So it'll be really interesting to see if we get some sort of palette that looks like this. I also think like a trending color for next year is going to be the pinky corals. I think we're going to see some like monochromatic looks in this color family that's going to sort of like peak around spring and summer. I'm thinking like, fuzzy peach candy kind of look. Like maybe add in a tiny bit of orange, add in a bit of like fuchsia on the end, and that sort of like color family. I think we're going to see like, again, monochromatic looks with this sort of color story in the springtime. I still think glitter and sparkle and shimmer is going to be popular. I feel like this year, 2024, like glitter and shimmer were definitely popular. I think that's going to continue to trend, but I see that being on the lighter side, like more of the sheer kind of glitters, more of the sheer kind of shimmers, like that sort of ghost, you kind of turn and then you see it, more so than like a really, really intense, like bright color shimmer or things like that. Like I feel like the shimmers will be there, but more like, I don't want to say like embedded in your skin tone, but more seamless with like your skin and where you're putting it, if that makes sense. I feel like matte lips are going to come back next year, and particularly in like the mauve color range. Like I'm thinking the Too Faced Queen Bee kind of style. I think that's going to be later. I think that's going to be like late summer into fall next year, but I totally think matte lips are going to come back next year. I could actually even see it coming back in spring with some like lighter colors, like maybe a neutral brownie pink, a lighter, softer pink. But I do think matte lips are going to come back again. It's been a little while, I think, since matte lips were trending, so I feel like they're going to come back. A lot of my stuff is thinking about things like, so I think about like, so I go to the gym with a lot of girls that are like at least 10 years younger than me. Some of them are like 20. Like I'm definitely older there. Thank God I don't look it because they don't know. But most of the girls there are younger. And I noticed a lot of them, like they don't wear a lot of heavy makeup. So I feel like a lot of the makeup's still going to stay in that lighter range. But I do see a lot of, again, like in my office, it's a lot of young girls. People are going back to the office a bit more. So I think longer wearing lip products are going to become more trendy again. The reason why like you want something like that is because you want to be able to put it on and then it stays good all day at the office kind of thing. Whereas like during pandemic, doesn't matter as you're at home all the time. So that's why I think that's going to, like all of my predictions do have some sort of basis in some logic, at least logic in my head. So those are my makeup trends. I didn't want to go with too many because I feel like I could have, like, I had written down a couple more. Like I wrote down like a cherry lip. I did a cherry lip today. So I feel like a cherry lip is going to come back as a popular trend for like a short period of time. But I'm like, red lips always come back like at some point. So like you could probably dig and find everything as a trend if you wanted to. But yeah, we're going to skip a few things that I just think are probably not going to be super trendy. Speaking of cherry lip, I think I've had lipstick on my lips. I don't know how long it's been like that, and I'm sorry. I even have like a mirror here, and I checked myself before I started filming. Then I started talking. There's always something. And we've got sirens now too. So my last category is drama. And again, I don't want to get too much into the drama category because I don't want anybody to have a bad year. I want 2025 to be like a good year for everybody. But I'm like, I feel like it would be wrong to not at least come up with some sort of prediction on something. So I definitely think Patrick Starr is going to be even more polarizing. I think there's going to be a couple things that are going to come up. I think there's this thing where he's trying to maybe shift the brand into something a bit more luxury. And I think the only way that's going to be successful if he sort of steps away as the face. Like I think of somebody like Patrick Starr. He's not a luxury brand. You know one size is his brand, but he really, at least I don't see him in a lot of the promos. Maybe I don't see a lot of promos, but I feel like Patrick Starr is like very tied to the brand. Like he's advertising and like in like showing all the products and like things like that. I think if he wants to lean more into that luxury, he needs to back away from it because I think there's just too much of an association that like, if you want to be high end, that's not relatable. So you can't be a relatable person and sell super expensive makeup because super expensive makeup is not relatable. That's why like even though you have Tom Ford and you have like those kinds of brands, like people don't really like they're not trying to relate to us on like TikTok. Like you don't see Tom Ford on TikTok. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok. But at least I feel like these other brands that are more high end, they're not about being personal. They're selling a lifestyle. So I think there's definitely going to be controversy there. This one's a random one. I think James Charles. Sorry, James. I feel like he's going to do something really wrong again. I feel like it's been a hot minute since he's really been in the news. He's really been talked about. And the only reason why I'm like kind of predicting something's going to happen is because he's going to get lazy. He's going to get careless and he's going to do something and forget all the drama that he caused before and do something careless again and do something that is very off-putting and then be like, oh, like, why y'all mad? What did I do wrong? So, I don't know. I feel like something with James Charles is going to go sideways. Do I really have to say anything about TikTokers? Like, do I really have to say anything about Michaela? The annoying drama with her is just going to continue. Like, she's not changing at this point. That's her person. And I think she's thriving and she's benefiting from being that person. So that's just going to continue. Like, people show you who they are, essentially. And I think TikTok's still going to have the same issues, like people like not disclosing and filters. Like none of that's going away in 2025. It's just going to be, there might be one or two new TikTokers that will pop up that are doing the same crap that the other TikTokers are doing. And then another person, I was like, I feel like Jaclyn Hill might have a bit of drama, but I think like in my heart of hearts, I want to think it's not actually real drama. I think something's going to happen that people are going to try and make a big deal out of because it's Jaclyn Hill, and trust me, I've done a lot of shitty shit in the past. But I feel like what happens with her is not actually going to be that bad, or it's going to be something from the past that people are going to, bring up, and it's like, that's over. That happened. She did screw up, but like let that go. Or it's going to be something that's like, yeah, people are going to try and tie to something she's done in the past. It's like, well, that was not great, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I feel like there's going to be something with Jaclyn Hill that's going to come up, but I feel like I actually am going to give her the benefit of the doubt in this case, that, it's not going to be as deserved to drag her. Like, she should have been dragged in some other stuff that she was never dragged in. I don't appreciate... One of the reasons why I don't talk a lot about the drama people and the drama stuff is I really just don't really like to endorse people that are not genuine and people that, like, we all make mistakes. We all do stuff that, like, I know I even do stuff that appears hypocritical at times. Like, I will talk about being, you know, don't spend money on stuff you don't need, and this is a luxury item, and then I turn around and spend $100 at Bath & Body Works. Like, I get that, that it can appear hypocritical. My philosophy has always been balance. Like, don't swing too far one way or the other, because neither is healthy. It's trying to find balance, and find balance that's right for you, because balance that's right for me is going to be different for somebody else. And I'm sure I've contradicted myself at times and said stupid crap. Like, you say stuff in the moment, you're filming on camera, and you change over time too. Like, I might have said something in the past, and I've, you know, changed my opinion on that now. So that's why this is all I've touched upon. There's going to be something that I can't even predict. Like, that's the thing. Could anybody have ever predicted some of the stuff that's happened in the past, or some of the crazy things that have, like, just gone so different than any of us have ever expected? So anyway, like I said, this is just for fun. This is supposed to be lighthearted. I will revisit this in a year and we'll see. Like, be really fascinating if any of this, like, actually is true, or, like, becomes true. And it'll be hilarious if I'm, like, so far wrong and everything is, like, completely different. Like, we have, like, glossy lips, and we have, like, bright red hair as a trend, and, like, just things that I am so wrong. Anyway, I just thought this was really fun to try and come up with some ideas, just kind of think up what could happen in 2025. So I'm super curious to know, what are your predictions for 2025? Like, who do you think is going to have drama? What brand is going to have a really good product? What brand is going to have, like, a crap, like a total dud product? What trend would you like to see? Like, what is something that, you know, you used to love and people don't really do anymore, and you're like, man, I wish that was a trend again. I'm so curious, because trends always full circle. Things always come full circle. So anyway, if you like this video, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.